Hello, the internets. So, as you may have heard, Reaper 7 is now out, and there's a few features under the MIDI editor section of the release notes that some people may not be very excited about, but some other people, and you know who you are going to be ecstatic about this. And I am one of those people, and I want to tell you why this is so freaking awesome. Hey, Disembodied Voice here. Here's a few audio examples of what we're going to be creating today using the new Reaper 7 updates. So in the release notes under the MIDI editor section, we have these few things here. Add option to set the channel for new events when selecting a single note or a CC event. Support vertical zoom / scroll in CC lanes. And support pitch wheel lane semitone range, snap to semitone. So you may be asking yourself, what is this and why should I care? And to answer that question, I need to give you a quick rundown of what MPE is, and the easiest way to do that is to also give you a quick demonstration. So in front of me here, I have a hardware synth that supports MPE, and one of the aspects of MPE is Polyphonic aftertouch. So let me show you what that is. We've had velocity forever, so if I hit the notes hard, they're louder. If I hit them quiet, they're softer. Let me hit those same notes again. And now I'll hit this, I'm going to press down on the C. And that's aftertouch, and we've had aftertouch for a long time. But polyphonic aftertouch which is just one aspect of MPE, is letting me accentuate different notes. Now you may be asking yourself once again, why should I care? Because you may not have a hardware synth that supports MPE. And that is another reason why this update is so awesome. There are two, at least that I know of, free VST synthesizers, Vital and Surge XT, that both support MPE. So now, with this update, it is so much easier to edit MPE data without having a keyboard that can send MPE commands. Another cool aspect of MPE is the ability to do per note pitch bend. So normally, if I hit this chord and bend it up, and then bend it down, as you can hear, that's all going out of key. Alright, so learning as we go, another quick MPE tidbit. So how MPE actually works, because it's still using the original MIDI standard. It's just an amendment to it. So there's one main channel that it uses, usually channel 1, and then each individual note gets its own channel. And that's how you can control per note things like pitch bend and so forth. And we are here in Reaper 6, and this is how this used to work. So let me just play this back real fast. Alright, so here's what we had recorded. As you can see, each different note is on different channels here, represented by these different colors. And you can see there's data on all these different channels here. Okay, great. So I actually had made this quite a bit easier for myself, and I say that with a giant grain of salt because it's still extremely tedious. In fact, I would say that this actually makes it possible to do something like edit pitch bend per note with MPE. So let me go ahead and give you a quick demo on how that worked in Reaper 6. And this was my workaround. So I had this little shortcut here that brought these guys up here. I want to say pitch bend this note somewhere. So let's select that note. We can see that it's on channel 3 here. Like I said, they're all different channels. If I select this one, it's channel 2. If I select this one, channel 10. Select this one, channel 6. Okay, so let's pitch bend this note somewhere. So we'd select that, and then we'd go ahead and click this button here that says show only events that pass filter. Then we're going to go ahead and draw in a pitch bend thing. So I'm going to put a point here. Then we got to go ahead and read these little tiny things that, again, I added that are just toolbar buttons that do absolutely nothing but just tell me note values or pitch bend values here. So 8192 is going to be our 0 point. Let me go ahead and draw in another point. All right, and actually I'm going to move that over to be on the same part of the note here. And let's say I want to pitch bend this up. Let me unclick the filter thing here so I can actually see where I want this to go. So let's go ahead and pitch bend this C chord up to a D sharp. Why not? And as you saw earlier with the quick demo, if I tried to do that with just the pitch wheel on the keyboard, it wasn't going to actually be in key. And actually, let's just make it fun and like throw some octaves in there too. So let's go ahead and see here. We got to do. We want to do 1, 2, 1. Yeah, sorry, 1, 2, 3 semitones here, and let's go ahead and do a whole another octave there. So that's going to be 15, and I have, again, very hard for you guys to see here, but I have notes on what I have to type in here. So each semitone in this range of pitch bend in the CC lane is 170.666. 170.666. So I want 15 semitones. So I'm going to go ahead in my calculator and multiply that by 15. And we get 2559.99. I'm going to go ahead and change the position of this point right here. And increase that by 2559.99. And then I'll hit apply. And again, even if you increase this like huge, you have no way of telling where any of this is. It doesn't snap to anywhere. You're dealing with, like, now I'm at a value of 10,752. Like, that is super arbitrary and means absolutely nothing to me. And if I were to try to just drag this here and guess, like, I would be completely out of tune here. There's no way I would actually get that. So okay, we got one note done here. That took how long? I'm gonna speed this up for the rest of them. So I'll be back with you in 1 second and show you why this sounds really cool and why this is really cool. And I'll tell you how long this took me too. Okay, so 5 hours later, here we go. So we pitch bent up a few different notes independently, and they're so tiny here. This is as big as you can reasonably make this. And realistically, you'd be working with this pitch bend CC lane like here, but here's what this sounds like. So obviously this is something you're not going to use all the time, but I hope you can see why this is super powerful and you can do so many cool things with this as just one example. Now I'm going to show you how to do this in Reaper 7 and why it's so much easier. Okay, so we got Reaper 7 right over here, and it is Reaper 7. I can show you here. Here's the actual default theme. I'm just not currently using it. I'm pretty partial to how I got this looking here. So anyways, let's do the same thing. So all I did was just save the project, and projects are forward and backwards compatible, by the way, just so you know that too. So I have the same exact project saved. This time, I don't need to use my special little MPE thing and reference all of these little numbers here or open up a calculator program or anything like that, because we have this lovely option right here. If I click snap there, it will let me enter in my pitch bend range of my keyboard. And you can find the pitch bend range or whatever your MPE pitch bend range. Like I said, Vital and Surge XT are completely free, and you can totally use this with those things. You do not need an expensive hardware synthesizer or even a paid VST to use MPE yourself. Yeah, if you go to the actions list, then you can find this action, set pitch, wheel, lane, semitone range, and if you just click that and run that, that'll pop up again in case you set it wrong or it disappeared. So anyways, we have the same exact notes, and all I did was just remove my probably realistically about 30 minutes of work just to do those few little pitch bends there. Could have got it done quicker maybe, but like I said, super, super tedious. So here's what, again, it sounds like without anything. Alright, no pitch bend. Let's go ahead and recreate the same thing, but now here in Reaper 7. So one huge improvement is I'm in the pitch lane here. I'm going to go ahead and put in a couple points. Let's start with this guy right here. Let's put in my points where I had them before. And I'm going to select all of these guys and make sure. And as you can maybe see here, it's going to be right down in this area here. And I'm going to zoom in, because you can now zoom in, which is like very lovely. Now that we have our points put in, you can see where just right over here in this box, it'll pop up under where we enabled snapping. We can now drag these points and they will snap to ranges of actual semitones, and that's based upon the semitone range that we set there when we turn snapping on. So now we can drag these wherever we want. We don't have to go ahead and, I mean, you can still, if you want to, you can still go ahead and pull this stuff up. And it's the same thing that we were looking at before, except let me select that point. So here's still that base value there of 8192. But now you just drag them up, and I had this one up, I believe. Let me zoom out a little bit again. Yeah, zooming. So nice. what did we have this one at before? I believe we had this one at 15 up. And if you hit Alt, you can change how the tension on the envelope points are. So I'm going to pull that in. So it just starts a little slower and ramps up a little bit more exponentially. Yeah, I can't actually remember what I had all these set to, but let's try to recreate it the best we can. Oh, and yes, now the other lovely thing. We don't need any of this open anymore, because this stuff over here. Because as you can now see, when I select this note, and that was the one feature there I was talking about, where note selection, or CC lane follows note selection. So if I select this note, this note, this note, here, there's my data selected again. My CC pitch bend data selected again. So let's do the next note, and then it automatically deselects the other one, so I can close all this other stuff out, because we don't need that anymore. Our next note, I believe we had going up 4 semitones, so let's draw in our points for that one. Another point, and one more point there. And let's select that guy there, and still a little odd about certain points. Let me actually control undo those. Still need to kind of put them outside of where you're initially going to put them, so they're not like overlapping this area, and then drag them over, but it's again, massive improvement. So let's draw in our points here, and we'll move them in a second. That one's fine. It's not overlapping anything. Okay. That one, and we want that one at 0 as well. And then this one, let's go up to 4. Oops. Let's drag you over here. And again, you can see that everything just snapping into place, and the ability to actually zoom in and see what you're doing is so nice. So let's go ahead and put another one of those curves in this too. So it ramps up. I think we had this low guy here. The low guy was going to I think we had that one going up 15 as well. So let's do that. Put in some more points. Another point there. I take these ones and just drag them over here. This doesn't actually super matter. They're just anchor points. I just want that to start here. So, and let's move this one up. And again, we can zoom. Drag you up to 15 semitones again. And oops, accidentally added a point. I don't usually use. Hold on, let me switch views on OBS here real quick. I don't actually use my keyboard and mouse over here, typically. Yeah, this isn't over here. It's like over that way more. I have another monitor over there. I'm just trying to do this for the demo here. And I usually have this other mouse over here and this foot controller to control Reaper and everything else here with MIDI. So, pardon my reaching and all the stuffs. Okay, so let's go ahead and put another little curve here. Actually, I think we kept this note the same. So let's leave that back at 0. Yeah, it was that high one that we did something else to. So let's go ahead and put some more little points in our pitch bend lane again. And then we'll put that back at 0 there. Put you back at 0 here to start there. And let's jam in another point here. And let's, I think this one we went up 4. Sorry, trying to recreate the other demo exactly. If it's not exact, don't mind that. I think that was 4. Let's go ahead and see what this sounds like. If I miss one of these, it's gonna sound terrible. Yeah, we're off on one of these here. Let's fix that. I think it was up another semitone there, possibly. That might be it. There we go. So besides my bit of fumbling around there and rambling about things, as you can see, that is actually usable, and you can, and you know, again, if you're determined and you're a little special like I am, you can do it in Reaper 6, and I did for certain things, but it was not something that was actually fun to use. This is great, and I just want to show you too. Let me pop open. Let me go back to the DAW here real quick. Show you guys. I'm gonna turn off my hardware send to my synth, and let's change this to none. And let's go ahead and open Vital here. Do. I honestly can't remember. It's under Vital Audio, of course. There we go. Okay, cool. And I'm using my 1080p monitor too here, so Vital doesn't really fit on here very well. Anyways, here's Vital. I don't have many things in here. Let's find like a pad or something real quick. Analog pad, that'll do. And if I can remember, Vital's like super loud comparatively, so let's turn that down a bunch so we don't blast our eardrums. And the only thing I want to do here in Vital is, I think I actually have the pitch range set correctly. Let me just check that though. Nope, I don't. So I just want to actually change my pitch bend range right down here to be again plus or minus 48 semitones. So let's go ahead and let's play back that same thing in Vital. Let me see here. Let's see what this sounds like. So I hope you can see why this is so powerful, and you don't need a fancy hardware synthesizer or a fancy paid VST. Vital is completely free. Surge is completely free. There's lots of patches available for all of them. And while this is something you're not going to use all the time, there's some really cool things you can do with this. Risers, you can again get really complicated, and if you're decent with music theory, or if you use something like the MIDI chord gun thing, you can go ahead and do some crazy chord to chord transitions, and this is pretty simple to do. I'm gonna load up, let me close out of this Reaper. Hold on one second, I'll be right back with you. Just wanted to load back up Reaper 6 because I don't have everything set up like how I did in 6 in 7 yet. So but let me go ahead, and I have some let me find a couple examples for you real quick here of what you could do. Okay, so I had a lot of fun playing around with this the other night, and I did all this stuff in 7, not in 6, but I just want to put it back into 6 because I got some ease of use things set up in here. So we're just bending back and forth between a couple different chords here. And let's drag in another example here. This one's kind of crazy. I think the aptly named what I call this guy. THX riser. So yeah, you can do some really cool, very specific creative risers with this here. Just let's play this guy back here too. So yeah, that is my favorite improvement in Reaper 7 that probably most people won't care about, but I think people should care about because it's really freaking cool. Anyways, this tutorial slash review thing has gone on way too long. Sorry for my rambling. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you later.